Hello, it's just Jem here, and welcome, or indeed, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would go through my Pat McGrath collection with you and potentially have a little bit of a rant. Yeah, I'm in that kind of a mood. So advance warning, I'm in an odd mood. I got up this morning, as you can probably see, I'm in gym gear. I was going to do a workout and I didn't feel like doing a workout, and then, well, what should I do? And I was like, well, I do need to film, so maybe I'll film. But yeah, funny mood. So prefacing this video with a warning of my funny mood. So Pat McGrath, I am a big fan of Pat McGrath products. I really am. I think the quality is high up there, and for the price that you pay, I should bloody well hope so. But yeah, genuinely really like Pat McGrath products, and recently I did an inventory of my makeup collection, which is predominantly made up of eyeshadow palettes, not gonna lie, and Pat McGrath features very heavily in that. But I realised that my channel is very new, so my love of Pat McGrath is not going to be something that is known. So I thought I'd do a dedicated Pat McGrath video on why I love Pat McGrath, but why I'm kind of slowly starting to fall out of love with Pat McGrath, which I think is probably the same for a lot of people who are Pat McGrath fans, who are following her and are wondering what on earth is going on with her releases. So, oddly enough, the very first YouTube video that I filmed was in fact a Pat McGrath video. It was a review of... They kind of looked like Bridgerton knockoffs. Like Pat McGrath was going to do another collab with Bridgerton, but it fell through, and then she thought, well, we've done all of this work, we've designed the packaging, so let's plough on ahead. So she's released these products. So you'll kind of see what I mean. I'll compare it. So here is an actual Bridgerton item. And then here is the packaging from the knockoff Bridgerton collection. Or the failed Bridgerton collection. I don't know, it's just a theory. But you can't tell me that there's not a similarity or a theme going on there. So it does make you wonder, doesn't it? But yeah, so that was my first ever video, but it was a car crash. I didn't like it. I did my best to edit it to make it watchable, and it just wasn't. So I gave up. And who knows, maybe I'll dig out the footage and insert snippets that are relevant, I don't know. But yeah, so they're probably the newest things I've added to my collection. So this is a highlighter, blusher and bronzer palette. So Burnished Honey, Midnight Orchid and Solar Fantasy. So yeah, if I just gouge that, looks like something So yeah, so that's that palette. And then I also got two of the Quints. I'm like opening these, I feel like I'm gouging at the products here. So I haven't even actually got round to using that one yet. I thought I had. Have I not used that? Evidently I haven't. So yeah, there's that. Oh, that's why I thought I'd used it, because it's a bit purpley. Now this one I have used. You can see there that I've used that one. So this is Bijou Brilliance. That's what the collection was called. It was called the Bijou Brilliance collection. There we go. But yeah, I mean this one, I've used that quite a bit since I've had it, and that is absolutely stunning, I've got to say. So those are those ones. Then I also have these blushes. So these are a few years old. I want to say, are these 3 years old now? I think so, because I bought them as a treat for myself shortly before a birthday of mine, And thinking about how long ago that birthday was, 3 years does indeed make sense. So what's this colour? Electric Bloom. Paradise Venus, which is absolutely getting hammered. I mean, you wouldn't think that I've got any other blushes in my collection. The amount of times I reach for this blush. This is just perfection, and I will be putting this on my face. And Love Struck. So, I mean, they don't even, the embossing is still there, but they have all been used quite heavily, but especially Paradise Venus. Like, wow. What's next? Oh yeah, so Bridgerton. Yeah, we talked about Bridgerton. This palette, which I think is absolutely beautiful. There were 2 of these Bridgerton palettes. I wasn't too fussed about the second one, but this one, yeah, I mean this shimmer right here, it's like a toppery shade. But it's, yeah, just stunning, beautiful. What else have I got? Now we're starting to get a bit historic. So I've got some limited edition palettes. I think this is probably, I want to say, this one is my first ever Pat McGrath palette. It's one of her 6 pans. How can I show this? La Vie en Rose. I love purple eyeshadow. Purple eyeshadow is up there as one of my favourite colours to wear. So when I saw that just absolutely called to me, and I had to have it. Another limited edition one in that trifold packaging, which looks great. It's just not practical. Like, it's a pain in the backside, if I'm perfectly honest. But Golden Opulence, really, really stunning neutral palette. I always forget to reach for this. I'm going to have to start going through my collection more regularly and just reaching out for palettes that I haven't used for quite some time. But yeah, that's another one that's up there. And then this is a Star Wars palette. We all know that Mother Pat loves a Star Wars palette. It's part of my rant, but we'll get to that. But this is another 6 pan, not in the trifold packaging this time, in a slightly more in a slightly more practical flippy lid. Carton, yes, packaging, yes. And again, this, I mean, that purple vibe we've established. I love purple, love it. What else have we got here? Oh, this is fun. Highlighter, Divine Rose highlighter. Should I just do a bit of a swatchy of that? Yeah, stunning. And then I'm probably going to whiz through this because I'm chatting absolute garbage, but I just wanted to kind of demonstrate what Pat palettes I had in my collection. Or this one. So this is one of the limited edition Mothership Mega palettes that come out for the holiday. So this is Celestial Nirvana. I missed out, there's one of the ones, what was one of the ones that she did that I regret kind of not picking up? It's the one with the really funny layout, but it's got like colours that you don't tend to see from Pat. I mean, even this has potentially got colours that you don't tend to see from Pat. But like that one's got like an orange, which is just... Has she ever done an orange before? I don't know. But, oh, this is pretty. Let's have a swatch of this shade here. It's a terrible swatch. Terrible swatch. But really pretty shade. Yeah, really nice. And then the motherships. So, number 5. Oh, that was close. Number 5 there. And then I jump up to number 8. Then we go up to number 9. Number 10. And then lastly, but not leastly, number 11. Right, now I think I might put this on my eyeballs because I haven't dipped into this yet, and this was released when everyone was really fed up with Mother Pat for continuously releasing pink palettes. And this seemed to have a very pink vibe, but it's actually less pink in person than it looks. So yeah, I'm going to put this on my eyeballs. What are we doing? What do I want to start with? I don't know. I'm stressed. I think I'm going to start with this shade right here. Right. So forgive me, I'm going to be looking over here predominantly because that's where my mirror is. So yeah, fan of Auntie Pat. And then she kind of kept releasing these pink palettes. So she did Divine Rose 1, and that was kind of like a very cool toned pinky palette. And that's not, I'm not overly into cool toned palettes. There's definitely a time and a place for them. But that 7 was never really one that I leaned to. But then she came out with 8. And that was a much warmer colour story, and I was like, yeah, I can see myself using that. So I got that one. And then I picked up 5. So basically I ended up buying that off a friend who wasn't getting much use out of it, and it was a palette I'd wanted. I think that was that kind of the first palette I had seen from Pat McGrath that kind of stood out to me, and that was the palette that basically got me onto her brand. And I was like, yeah, this is a palette I can see myself using. I mean, for that red alone, wow. So I picked up 5, and then at the tail end of last year there was this unbelievable sale on the Mothership Total 4, I think it was, which is 9, 10 and 11 bundled together, and I got that for an absolute steal. And would I have bought them all individually? I think after having seen a lot of people review Pat's palettes and say sort of how pink they were all leaning, I wasn't fussed about getting 9, 10 and 11. But then I was seeing lots of reviews of 10 and realising it wasn't as pink as I had imagined. And when I saw the price of that bundle, I was like, it's worth getting that bundle because it's less. I think I paid like 70 quid. I'll dig it out. I'll find out exactly how much I paid and I will insert it here. But yeah, like putting this on, I mean, I haven't used like a light base. All I've done, I mean, I've put some base makeup on just so that my any makeup I put on has got something to adhere to. So I've basically got the Made by Mitchell skin tint on my face, and then I've put some Tarte Shape Tape under my eyes, which I've carried up onto my lids just to even out the colour. So it's not like I've used a brighter base. And this is showing as more of a burgundy kind of shade on my lids, to be honest. And I'm going to try and keep this simple. So there's that. There's the every palette being pink thing. And then there's this whole Star Wars thing. What is going on with that? So she re-released Midnight Sun, which is Mothership 6, with effectively a big sticker of like Darth Vader on it. I think it's Darth Vader. A big old Star Wars sticker basically on the palette. And then now then last year she released like another Star Wars collection where there were some quints in there. It's got R2-D2, C-3PO. I think there was a third one, but I can't remember who's on that one. And obviously, even before that, because yeah, there's the Star Wars release that she did that had this palette in it. So I think that's when she re-released, or was it Decadence that came in Star Wars packaging? I'm losing track. There's just Star Wars overkill, and now she's done this re-release recently where there's like a Darth Vader helmet bag. She's re-released the quints, and then she's got these coloured mascaras also in like this silver Star Wars packaging. And I think people are just like, Pat, we want something new, we want something innovative. What is going on? So I'm now going to go in with this shade in the corner here for my outer V-type area. Yeah, we want something new, we want something innovative. Why are you ramming Star Wars and pink down our throats constantly? Pat, stop it! I mean, I don't know, maybe if I was a lover of Star Wars, I'd be loving these rehashes of Star Wars themed products and stickers stuck on pre-existing palettes and re-release after re-release, and it's too much. And the thing is, like, we know Pat can be innovative. Like, she is killing it with like her runway looks, like the glass skin look that was doing the rounds and the filter that's going around. And has anyone seen, like, Pamela Anderson at the Met Gala looked stunning? It's just like, wow, mind blown. So Pat is obviously still innovative, but I'm getting the impression, and it's going around, that she's just not as involved as she used to be, which kind of makes a lot of sense, because when you look at palettes 1, 2, 3, Motherships 1, 2, 3, and then again you look at 4, 5 and 6, they're different, they have something to them, they have substance. And then you do hit even 7, to be fair, was it the kind of palette I would go for? No, but I can totally see the appeal. And then 8, again, I think people were fine with that. You know, it had that pink, but it wasn't pink overkill yet until you got 9, and then you got 10, and then you got 11, and then it was just getting a bit repetitive. And we know Pat's creative, we know that she's an artiste, we know what she can bring out. Like, some of her products are bangers. I'm looking at the stuff that I've accumulated in front of me, and she's got some absolute bangers in her collection. But lately, it's hard to be a Pat stan. I am missing some of the early motherships in my collection, like for sure, and I do eventually sort of want to go back and get those. But it's kind of, it's the reluctance to part with the money, if I'm perfectly honest. That doesn't, considering I'm not really paying much attention to what I'm doing, that doesn't look too bad. And that's another thing. I'm not paying any attention. I'm not a skilled blender. But look, I mean, they blend themselves. I mean, look at that. It's effortless. Right, let's put a shimmer on. I don't know which shimmer to put on. It's gonna be with my finger because I just think they're the most effective. I think I'm gonna go with this special shade here. Oh, speaking of special shades, she's just, Pat does appear, oh my word, that's pretty stunning. So there was me about to say she's abandoned her really impactful baked formula, but I mean, that's pretty impactful, isn't it? But yeah, I know a lot of people weren't happy that she's kind of, the baked formula seems to have disappeared from the last couple of palettes that she's released. So people are wondering if what makes Pat palettes special to a lot of people now seems to have been removed. But I mean, just applying this, good lord, that looks pretty special to me. I should speed this up. So basically this has been rather impromptu. My camera battery sign is flashing at me. So I'm going to try and sort of speed through the rest of this. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I love Pat McGrath products and I enjoy buying them. I enjoy putting them on because, I mean, this speaks for itself. Hardly paying attention, whacking stuff on my eyelids, look at the result I'm getting. But I think we're having Pat Pink. I was going for some alliteration, but I can't think what is a word for fatigue. It begins with P. But yeah, I think we're a little bit fed up of Pink. We're a little bit fed up of Star Wars. We want to see something new. We want to see something that's going to get us excited by Pat again. And I'm curious to see, because there hasn't been like a new major release for a very long time at this point. Is that even? Not quite. Let's go a little bit higher on this side. So I'm very curious to see what the next mothership is going to look like. My battery died mid-rant, so I've given it a boost, which I hope will at least give me enough juice to finish this, while it charged for approximately 10 minutes, not even that. I've just finished off my eye look. So in my inner corner, what did I use in my inner corner? I used this shade down here in my inner corner, and then on the bottom I just used the initial shade with the outer V shade and just kind of bludged. I think I was trying to say blended and smudged then, but yeah. So I've bottom of my line, bottom of my eye line. Ugh, good grief. So on the bottom I've just taken the initial shade that I used along with the shade that I've used to deepen my outer V, and I've kind of blended them together under my lid. I've set my under eyes. Probably could have done with a bit more concealer. I am still looking a little bit tired. Basically, I think everyone is craving for Pat to just come out with something new to just wow us. Go back to Mothership 1, 2, 3 days where palettes like that were fresh, you know. Give us some insight, show us some of the stuff that, like, translate some of that creativity that's being shown on the runway and at the Met Gala and put that in a palette and sell it to us. Like, I'd be really, really curious to know what sales are like for Pat's products at the moment. I'm going in with Paradise Venus because it's Paradise Venus. I can't find my normal blusher brush. I'm very unorganised today, very unorganised. I apologise wholeheartedly. But yeah, this is doing the trick, to be fair. What brush is this? It's like just a random It's a random Real Techs... Oh my god, I still can't say it. It's a random Real Techniques brush. There we go. I mean, I don't even know how well you can see this. I'm being quite subtle today. Normally when it comes to blush, I pack it on. But Paradise Venus is a staple. I genuinely use it all of the time. Actually, I don't mind this brush for applying blush. I'll have to remember this. What do I want to use as a highlighter? I don't know if I want to use the Divine Rose highlighter or the highlighter that's in that palette. Maybe I'll use Divine Rose. I wonder if I can get away with using this same brush and just being somewhat light-handed with it. Wrong brush, but let's... This is the Divine Rose highlighter. I might go in with my powder brush and just kind of go over it all just to blend it all together, because I'm very ill prepared today and I don't have all the correct tools in front of me, and that's got quite a harsh line there. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to speed through this, I think. No talking, more speeding. I'm not sure how well you can see this. Actually goes really well with the look. I'm pleased with that. What else have I got here that I haven't delved into yet? I think that's it. And then I've just got some Dark Star mascara. That's pretty impressive. I'll remember this. I had forgotten. I had. I think that's everything. So I also swatched the special shades from Mothership 10 just to kind of, I mean, those are stunning. They seem quite toppery, but from my experience of applying the one on my eye, you can layer it and you can make it pack a punch, but those are beautiful. But yeah, in summary, Pat, just wow us again. You can wow us. You've wowed us in the past. You have shown us your creativity. You have shown us your imaginative brain. We want that again. If it involves you becoming more involved again, please become more involved again. If the reason why we're not getting the creativity and the innovation that we were seeing before is because you stepped away, come back. Please come back. I'm still going to get a lot of use out of all of the Pat products that I've got, because I've got a lot, but it would be really nice to just see something new and to be excited about Pat McGrath products again, because I think a lot of us are a bit jaded now, and whereas we would all jump to buy her stuff a few years back, we're probably not as eager as we used to be. Which is a shame, because the quality is there. The quality is 100% there, but it's just lacking that special something. So I'm going to leave it there. Apologies that this has been very haphazard. I'm in a very haphazard mood today, but I hope that that's been somewhat interesting. If you're a bit like me and you've kind of lost a bit of your passion for Pat, I'm hoping that digging out some of these older Pat products will make you go back into your collection and get excited again. And hopefully I will see you in a video again in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.